Welcome to the interview. I'm Dan Hollander. The guest on today's program is April Judkins, Main Street Director here in Lawrenceburg. Good to have you with us, April.
Thank you. Good morning, Dan.
For those who don't know, including me, what is Main Street and what does it do?
Main Street is actually a national organization, but Main Street Lawrenceburg, covers our area. What I do as the Main Street Director is I take care of our downtown. Main Street actually is a very big district. It goes over to the railroad tracks if you are going east of town. And west of town, it goes down to Mar Avenue. North of town, you go up to the stop sign there at Depot Street. And south of town, you'll go down right past the Davy Crockett Cabin. And so it covers a really big district. And what we do, like I said, is we just take care of downtown. I have a great board. Right now I have 12 members, and they're wonderful. My president is actually Ben Luna. My vice is Vic Pusser from the Lawrenceburg Utility System. Vicki Burks with the Summit at Home is my treasurer, and Tasha Beckman with One Stop Medical is my secretary. And then we have another great board. All of them have different parts, different roles that they play. Main Street is broken up into 4 different divisions, and members of my board all fall into those 4 different categories.
Well, let's talk about those 4 divisions and what they do or are responsible for.
Well, what we'll start with is design. And our design committee is over the different colors, the different structures, the historic zoning. They're not over the Historic Zoning Commission, but they work with the Historic Zoning Commission that we have locally. They help with the design of downtown, the flowers that we plant, anything that relates to the look of how downtown Lawrenceburg is.
Yeah.
We have economic restructuring, which is the way that Main Street runs. That means we work with the Lawrence County Chamber, with the County Executive's Office, with the City Hall, with any type of local government to bring in businesses for downtown and to make sure things are going well downtown. We also we're in charge of a lot of different programs as far as grants go. We write as many grants as we possibly can, and one of those grants that we have just found out about last Friday, as a matter of fact, we're so excited. It's a community development block grant, and it's for $100,000. Yes, we're very, very excited. $100,000 doesn't sound like a lot because when it comes to pavement, maybe a mile it's going to cover. But for me and Main Street in our downtown, $100,000 can go a long way.
So any plans what you're going to do with that grant?
I have a lot of big plans for that grant. People will actually have to apply for that grant, merchants around downtown, and those that are members of Main Street will get first pick. The grant has to be targeted for the facade of the buildings downtown, which means the windows, the painting, anything on the outside of the building. And it's a 25-75 grant. So the merchant is only actually responsible for 25% of whatever the cost is.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that I see it, if I was a merchant and I owned a building downtown and I needed to spend $10,000 on paint and windows for the front of my building, and it's only going to cost me $2,500, why not do it now? Why not take advantage of it? And I know my merchants, and I know that they will. I've got great merchants downtown. Last year, we actually completed a CDBG grant, which is the same kind that this is, but it was for only $25,000. I myself used $22,000, and the merchants, it was a 50-50 grant. So the merchants matched it. With that money, we received 17 new awnings, and then we painted the front of a new building. And the awnings by themselves, to me, make a drastic difference.
Yeah. You have to be really careful how you spend this money, don't you?
Yes. There's a lot of I's to dot and T's to cross, a lot of paperwork involved in meetings. And like I said, our design committee, they'll be really influential on the preparation and the selections made as to who gets the money. But it's the buildings that needs it the most will receive it first. And the ones that are willing to participate. We'll have some that just aren't interested or can't do it right now, that's fine, that's expected. But it'll be well spread around downtown. In the West Gaines, North Military corner, there's a ugly strip of buildings, and everybody worries about those buildings. It used to be the Welch's building in the middle of the square,
right.
But we know what the Welch's building has turned into. It's turned out wonderful. It's immaculate. The district attorney and child support's office, they look great in there. So our next big eyesore is that corner of West Gaines and North Military. And Blake Grooms actually bought those buildings last year, and he's planning on doing a lot of work to those. And I don't know if he's going to put in for this grant for the front of those buildings or what exactly his plans are. I know that he meets with the Historical Zoning Commission this Thursday about some different ideas for the buildings. So I'm feeling pretty good about those. And then the White's building on the square directly, it needs some TLC on the outside of it. And there's some other buildings. I know that Gigi's, she done a huge facelift on her building this time last year. She got a awning and she painted the front of her building, and they gutted the inside of her building, but she needs a mortar on this side of her building to hold her bricks in place because it's crumbling. If you walk around the square, you'll notice some of the buildings, the mortar is pretty thin, and so that's included in this grant. She can put in for that.
Yeah.
Lots of different things included in this grant.
Yeah. So it's not just one thing to fix one place.
No.
It can be, in your case, anywhere in the downtown area.
Right, it can. And it's going to be spread out a lot. It's going to be a lot of paperwork for me, a lot to keep up with. It'll be so worth it in the end. Because it'll be a total of $125,000, and can you imagine how much paint, how many windows,
That's
how
a lot of
much
paint.
mortar that $125,000 will cover? I mean, if we can get 17 new awnings with a $22,000, then with 100, just imagine what we can do.
Do you see this expanding to other portions of town? I know it's just for the downtown area right now.
Main Street is strictly for the Main Street district.
Yeah.
It doesn't really expand into other portions of town. Now, we have people outside of our Main Street district that are wonderful supporters of Main Street, but they want to see downtown grow. Those people who support our downtown Main Street, they realize that Main Street is the heart of our community. When investors come in and they're considering putting in industries or different businesses, the first place that they want to go and see, other than the industry site, the build site, is downtown. Downtown truly is the heart of the community. When they bring their wives in, they want to know where there is to shop and what there is to do and where there is to go. And downtown, it's just the beginning. We have several different great places other than downtown to shop and to eat and to go and visit. I'm not saying that. I mean, I do my fair share of shopping all around town.
Yeah.
But this is the heart of our community. This is where things start.
If people who aren't involved in this but have suggestions, you welcome that?
Absolutely, anytime. They can call me. My cell phone is 629-5266. We have a Main Street website. It's mainstreetlawrenceburg10.com, and there's a place there that you can email me. My email directly is director@mainstreetlawrenceburg10.com, or you can come see me here in my office in the municipal complex on the square. Absolutely, we're open to suggestions, whether it be for the grant or ideas, fundraisers, anything to do with Main Street.
If you had your druthers and you could do anything you wanted to do with downtown, what would you do?
Oh, I think I would have to fix that corner of West Gaines and North Military
Yeah.
to begin with, because that is the draw for coming into downtown. If people that highway, Pulaski Highway, Waynesboro Highway, Highway 64 right there in West Gaines, that's a busy traveled intersection, and when you're coming into the square, most of the time that's the way you come in. And so to have some kind of beautiful, appealing, eye-catching place there to draw you in,
Yeah.
that's where I would probably start. If I could do anything, that's what I would do right now.
April, what's this I hear about a dinner on the way?
Well, we're having a dinner. It's February the 27th. It's called Heart Main Street. Like heart, love, Main
Yeah.
Street. And it starts at 6. The doors open at 6. The food is served at 7. The music will start around 8. It's the Jeff Pluin Band. Pat's Cafe is catering. It's $50 a ticket. And I know that sounds kind of a little high, but it's a fundraiser. It's going back into downtown, and it'll be good food, fun, dancing, something good to do on a cold night, because it's still in February and you've been cooped up all winter long. It gives you a good chance to get out. So those tickets are $50 a piece. You can contact me or any of my Main Street board members, and any of us will be happy to help with that.
Good. Appreciate your visit.
Thank
A
you.
lot of info there.
Thank you.
Main Street Director for Lawrenceburg, April Judkins. That's the interview. Thanks for watching.